Hey everyone, Egman here with another video, and today we've got my first deck list of 2021, the OG Green Broly, which is powered up by the new Demonic Restraint card, which is one of the potential box toppers for set 12. I think it's like a new, it's a promotion pack, right? So you don't know what you're going to get in general, but a really cool card for the OG Broly archetype, which I think a lot of people are fans of. And I made this deck on my stream. There's also going to be a link to the description in the description to the re-upload for that. And also at the end of this video, there's going to be sped up gameplay for one of the matches with commentary as well. So definitely, if you appreciate that, let me know, like this video, or leave a comment about it, because it does take a little extra work to do that for you guys. But also shout out to Sven and Sai for sending me their list. This is Sven's list, and this is Sai's list. Definitely could put me in the right mindset to build these guys, just because the way I was originally doing it was just completely wrong, and I don't think it worked out. So they kind of sent me their list, they let me play with them, and I think they have some good ideas for going on. So this is Sai's list, a little bit more mid-range, but I really like the idea of the Bardock, and I used that. And then there's also the list here with Sven's, and his is more, I think, aggressive with like Demigra and Fuse the Masu and everything. I think it just all works out, super well. So those are the two lists, but this is the kind of combined list, and what I really liked from this and what I took away from it. But we've got this OG Broly leader, set 1, really old leader, but cool that he still has some competitive viability. 3 years later, almost 4 years, but yeah, so he has this permanent can attack battle card, which is fine, especially since we're in a unison era right now. It helps out a lot. When this card attacks, both players choose one card from their hand and place it in their drop area, which you only get affected by this personally once per turn, and then you have your Demonic Restraint up, and then you're fine. And then when your life is at 4 or less, you may draw 2 cards and flip this card over, so it's a draw 2 leader, which helps because you're trying to do hand destruction in a lot of ways. And then same permanent on the back, but it has this auto: when this card attacks, draw 1 card. Then both players choose 1 card from their hand and 1 card from their battle area and place these cards in their drop area. This does not include Unison cards, because Unisons are in the Unison area, as far as I know. I could be wrong. I think I did that incorrectly on my stream as well, but I don't think it hits the Unison cards. It does hit field cards and battle cards, though. So just being able to do that, and this really becomes like a +2, because you get a +3, you get a draw card, you make your opponent discard a card, and you make your opponent send a card to their drop area, and you're not affected by those last 2 because of, we'll show you why. So Demonic Restraint, new card, has this permanent. This card also is treated as a Broly ring in all areas, and cards in your hand can't be discarded by your green Broly leader card skills, so that's really nice. So that's why you don't have to discard when you swing. And then if your leader card is mono green Broly, when this card is discarded or placed in a drop area from your battle area by one of your leader skills or battle card skills, activate this card from your drop area, then add up to 1 card from your life to your hand. This effect is really bonkers, and we'll see why in a second. And we'll just see it, but I guess it's not. So it's worded really weird as well, but it says when this card is discarded. So are placed in drop area from your battle area by one of your leader battle card skills. It's just when this card is discarded, period. So it doesn't, the way that it's set up, it means from your hand to your drop area. So it doesn't mean the place in your drop area by your battle area. That's a different part of it. So if you swing and you discard this card with your leader card's ability on turn 1, then you can you play it for free, right? And then you get 1 card from your life, and that's fine. So that's how this works. It's really weird. And then also if you blow it up, so if you blow it up with your awakened leader, if it's the charge you choose on the battlefield, then it just comes back, and then you can take a life if you want to. But that recursion can really be abused with Paragus the Sacrifice. So this is just a 1-drop. Choose 1 green card from your battle area other than this card placed in your drop area, draw 1 card. So you can, it says battle area, so you can't choose Unisons, but your field cards are in your battle area. And so if what a really good thing is that turn 1 you get Demonic Restraint up, and then turn 2 you play Paragus the Sacrifice, and then you draw 1 card for his active main, and then you just, if you're not awakened, you start awakening. You just take your Demonic Restraint, you play it back, and then you can draw 1 card from your life to your hand. Also, you don't have to take your life either. So if it's late game and you just want to draw a card for free, because this Paragus is active main, not when you play him. So if he survives, just next turn you get to draw 1 card for every Paragus you have on the field. So it's really good. You draw a bunch of cards with this deck, which is really nice when you're trying to discard your opponent's hand to be really aggressive with your hand advantage and everything. But that's all those cards. It's a really good interaction, and it's what makes this deck, I think, very viable in a lot of ways. So there's that. And also we have the Super Saiyan 3 Broly Saiyan Berserker. So this is kind of The other part, we're only running 3 of this demonic restraint, but only because we have this Broly. So this is so we have what if you discard this card, you're able to play a Broly's Ring from your deck, and then if you do, you choose 1 or 2 cards in your life and then add them to your hand. So you want this card just because you are able to awaken twice with it. But just being able to have like 7 copies of your turn 1 play in your hand in your deck is already pretty good. And then you also have this active main, so you have to have only green cards in all your areas that are visible. So your energy, your life, your energy, your dropper, your warp, and your battlefield and stuff. So if you survive, if you do that for the entire game, you can pay this for 4 and play your big 6-drop Broly. But I felt like that just didn't do anything. We weren't getting enough like damage for it. It wasn't impactful, and it was just kind of clunky to play around. Like having to tap out to play this turn 4 and have to have 2 specific cards in your hand and everything to get something to kind of work out. It just didn't really feel worth it to me. So I don't think I tried it and I felt like it was the good idea, but it wasn't. So like this is strictly only to get Broly rings on the field. If you can do this late game, it makes sense, go for it. But you don't have to build your deck around the permanent that this card has. If you have any non-green cards in any area other than your deck, hand, or life, you can't play this card from any area, which is fine. You can still activate its active main or its auto skill from dropping it. You don't have to have green cards everywhere. So that's you just run it for that. That's the only reason it's used, and it's still fine. So you can run black cards or any other cards you need in this deck, in my opinion. Because we've got Cell Secret Rare because it's our win condition. I tried Broly Secret Rare because I own that one. I don't own Cell Secret Rare, but I think Cell's just too good to not play, honestly. So there we go. And we also have this Son Goku Power of Legend. I think this is really helpful for what you're trying to do as well. So if either card's green, when one of your cards makes your opponent discard a card, you may play this card from your hand. And also, I was literally told this by a judge, that the Broly skill is a discard effect, so this will proc from your leader swing. It's been updated recently, but I've been told by judges, so it's real, I promise you. So you can get this off Broly. Just swing your leader, you can get your Goku working, and so that's really, really powerful. You might even want to run 4 in this deck, but that's something you can do. It's a 15k crit, and then it helps, warp cards from your opponent's side of the field, and so you can use that, and then if they have only 1 card left, then you can use your leader skill to make them pop what you want them to pop, right? Then we just kind of have to get the other pieces for this deck. I really like Bio Broly for this deck. I like this guy, especially since if you have him turn 1 and you go first, then you can use this, and then you can use this +1 to discard 1 card of your hand to draw 1. Not only do you get some cycle, but then you're able to just for free drop one of either your Super Saiyan 3 Brolys or your Broly's Ring from your demonic restraint from your hand. And then if you do that, you're able to just activate it turn 1. Otherwise, you'd have to wait until it was, you're able to swing with your leader to do these things. And it's just you're not doing anything turn 1 anyway, so it's just a kind of good idea there. We also have some good cards like the Bulma Life on Namek. I thought this didn't do enough, but you look at top 5 cards for either a green unison with a cost of 2 or a green Saiyan card with any cost 3 or less, which all of our money cards are, and by all of them I mean 2 of them. We've got either Paragus, they're really good to search out. This just draws you a bunch of cards, and finding your super combo is fine. We also have our Bardock as the main super combo the main unison for this deck. And you just want to play him turn 2 if you don't have Bio Broly out. And you can choose one of your green battle cards, any cost of 1, and KO it. If you do, your opponent chooses 1 card in their hand, discards it. So we have Bulma, which is really good for that. And then also, if we find some Paraguses, we don't want to pop these immediately because we want to get a lot of card value from it. But late game, you can just pop it to make your opponent discard a card, which can also proc Son Goku and everything else. And also, you can do this +1 effect when you're not swinging with your leader. Or if you don't have a 1 drop out, and so you're able to just do a +1 for free. You don't get anything from it but the +1. And just the auto for this card too. When your opponent combos, you may place 1 card from the combo area's drop area. If you do, negate the skill for the turn. So every turn you get some additional, either your opponent has some incentive not to combo, or you get an extra free discard, which is really, really nice. So great card overall, and I think he fits really well for this deck. Both these unisons also have the added effect. If you have these just in your hand late game, you can do their minus effects, and you really plus off of it. So Bardock's is -3, becomes a 20k with triple attack, which is really good for ending the game. And then Bio Broly, same kind of thing. You do -4, and then you choose two cards from your opponent's hand, discard them, it becomes a 25k dual attacker. So both are, I think, really good, and they both kind of fit under the effect of like, if you have this just like on turn 4, turn 5, you can just hard cast it from your hand, and then you just win on the spot, because it's hard to interact with these unisons, and they just do like a bunch of damage that your opponent probably wasn't, expecting. So, well, I like that versatility of these. They're both good early game, but have some like late game potential as long as you have enough energy to do what you really want to do. From there, we have just kind of a bunch of filler cards. So, we're running green unison, so of course we're running 4 dormant potentials. This is like part of the reason like this deck works so well, is because you're able to hit, aggressively awaken. You can awaken on like turn 2 with this deck really easily, which means you get to draw 2 cards, and then like you're able to like make your opponent like discard stuff from their hands and from their battle area, and just gain a lot of pluses from that. But then also, like Frieza is also a good card as well. So, but like obviously they're just both good cards, so you run both. And then also, what else do we have? We're running 4 of the 6 drop. This is just off Demonic Restraint. You can play this for 3, and it's just a big 30k that makes your opponent discard 2 cards, which is great. And it's randomly too, so that's better than not randomly. And you can play it off of Super Saiyan 3 Broly, Saiyan Berserker. But also, if you have this guy out, and also you played like a Frieza last turn, and then also you have like a 1-drop Paragus that's been out for a while, that's 12, and you can play Cell Xeno, right? And similar logic with this Son Gohan Hidden Might. This is new from the draft box, but if your life is at 3 or less, reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 3, so it becomes a 25k. And if your leader card's green when this card is played, you can choose one of your opponent's battle cards, ignoring barrier, and KO it. So if your opponent has like 2 battle cards out, you can KO one of them, and you can swing with your leader to make them KO the second one, which is nice. Or you can just choose one of your opponent's unison cards and remove a marker from it. We can control our life total for this deck really, really easily. So being at 3 or less life isn't really hard to do with this leader at all. So that's why this is really nice, and you can even pump this up if you want. Also, I don't think Rebrand's super needed for this deck. If you don't own this card, just don't run it. I think you're fine with not running any of it. It just felt wrong not to put Rebrand in the deck, so I felt like I had to, but I don't think it's needed. And then also we've got 2 Roshis just to help us find our dormant potentials, just because we can like really live or die on this a lot of the time. So I wanted to have 2 extra ones. Then we're discarding a lot of cards and putting some cards in our drop area, so it's a 5k combo, so what are we really losing? So that's all the main deck. There's a bunch of cards to think about in the side deck. I really like this deck for my stream, because I thought like I could just like phone it in and like not have to think hard, because I thought like this deck would make itself, but it's not true. Like there's just so many options for all these cards. So here's just a couple cards that I thought of and thought of as well. Dark Broly as a unison is really good, so that you can't go wrong playing him instead of Bardock. We also have like Raditz for sure. I already put Paragus in. This was before I added him there. We have Tapion, can't be bad either. Just playing a blocker for 1 energy and drawing a card, great. We have Broly Invincible Agent of Destruction as well. This is just nice because it's a Broly in name, and then you're able to just pop things for playing him, and like being able to look at top 3 to find a card you need is super good. So just playing this for 3, like popping 1 card that your opponent didn't want you to KO, and then like you can swing, and then your leader can KO the other one. I think that's really nice. And I had someone stream who swore that the triple strike was worth the difference between that and the 6-drop, making your opponent discard 2. So if you are in that same boat, go for it. Go triple strike. It's sitting there for you. You can totally do it. But and then also Zamasu, if you're running like Son Gohan as well, like just because this is for 2 energy you play this, and then you swing a 25k double strike, and then you can just for 1 green energy get this 20k that makes your opponent discard. So I felt like that was nice. I didn't end up putting in this deck just because the spacing was tight, but if you have that card, you can maybe run 2, just because not only do you have Frieza as targets for it, but you also have Son Gohan, so that's kind of nice. And I think that's really it for the deck. Let me know what you guys think about this, and I hope you guys enjoy the gameplay. Alright, we got a game against Eric and his red Broly BR. I decided to keep the Field Spell, the Bardock, and a Paragus in hand, and then I still don't get the SS3 Broly back into my hand, or a 1-drop Bio Broly, which kind of sucks, so I only get to just play Paragus turn 1 and just pass. And then Eric will use, he's going to charge a Ba, and he's going to use his effect to get a red extra card from his deck. He forgot to take a life for it, so just note that, but it's not a big deal. But yeah, so he adds an after image from his deck to his hand, and then after that he plays the 1-drop Broly, and he will pitch the top card from his life. He did it from his deck for accidentally. He fixes it in a second, but then gets Ba from there. And I think he fixes it right now when he realizes it. But then he's going to take another card from his life. So he should technically be at 5 life, but we only catch it the first one, so he's at 6 life. But he gets a 10k, he gets his leader crit and goes into my Broly, and I just take it. So right there, we get a Shocking Death Ball into a drop area, which is fine. And then I think he swaps into his 3-drop Broly from there. Yeah, that's what he does. So that's fine by me. And then next turn I swing, or draw, I charge, I think Roshi, yep, do there, swing into there. With that effect, I'm able to drop the Dormant Potential, or not Dormant Potential, the Restraint, take a life, play it, and then since he discarded a card off his leader skill, I gotta play the Goku for free. And then after that, I'm going to use Paragus Effect to pop the Restraint, which means I can take 1 card from my life and draw 1 card, which is really, really good. And then after that, I play Bardock there, add 2 counters to it, swing that into his leader. He just blocks it, and then I use Goku's Effect to pop the Broly from there. And then I do a free +1 on my Bardock. I don't pop the Paragus because I want to be able to draw next turn. And then that's my turn there. So sitting pretty good. And I don't swing into him because I know he can self-awaken next turn anyways. And I want to give him less options for his charge. And like it just he can awaken as much as he wants next turn. And I don't think I'm going to kill him. So I wanted to kind of be at 5 and have to actually like do stuff to get awakened. So plays Kale 1-drop Unison, finds a red original Broly BR, or Broly, the, what is it? Oh, I forgot his name already, but the one that if I have 2 energy open, he can look at my hand. But from there, he uses, what's he do? He's thinking, he uses effect to awaken, to gain crit and take a life, and then he'll swing there into there. I'll say no negates. And I think I should have taken this damage, honestly. But I use Broly, Bardic Effect so that he doesn't he loses that combo, so he doesn't do any damage. Plays 1-drop, and I'm thinking about it, and I think I just decide to I'm looking at the back just to see how the backside works. And so since if I pop him the 3-drop, he can play the 4-drop, I decide just to pop that on reaction there. So he awakens there, and then uses I guess what does he do? He also couldn't find he didn't have any balls left in his deck, so he couldn't use it. But yeah, from there I plays Planet Vampa, and I think he whiffs with this too. So just not doing well for him, and really sets me up to be able to do well this next turn. So it's kind of because I think he's just saying how much he whiffed and he couldn't find what he needed. So from there, I think he's going to take 1 life from his Broly to give him crit and be a big 20k crit. And I think he's going to swing into my leader, which I'll just take. Not a big deal for me. Yeah. He doesn't have crit because there's a Broly BR out. So yeah, I just take it. Sure. And I think I'm doing really well for setting up next turn because I'm going to draw a bunch of cards. Yeah, a bunch of cards are going to come into my hand. So I think I charge just Rebrand because I don't think I'm going to ever have a chance to actually play her this game. Yep, do that. Then we're going to just awaken for free. So just untap 2. Or sorry, just draw 2. There we go. So there's that SS3 Broly, but we can't play him anymore because we have the Black Goku in our Warp. And then we're just going to draw 1 for free from our top of our deck and from our life because of Paragus. We're going to swing into there. And I get a draw card. He has to discard a card from hand. And I don't think I take the life with my leader. Because I could blow up Demonic Restraint. I blow up Demonic Restraint with my effect, but I just bring it back for free. But I could take it for I could take a life for doing so. But I use the effect of Bardock, geez. And I pop my Paragus, so now he's +4, and he had to discard a card from hand. Then for 2, since I'm at 3 life, I'm going to play my Gohan, which means that I pop his Kale from there, and I can swing in. If he has any negates, yep, he does. So no big deal there. Yep, just pops that. And I'm thinking about if I want to go in, but I'm not. So because I could totally just use the. But he takes the life for it for whatever reason, so which is totally fine by me. So I'll just swing into with my leader there, or my Unison into his leader, which I was going to do anyways. Otherwise, like I have Dormant Potential and After Image in my hand, so I'm not really afraid to survive next turn. And I just combo out and really win the game. So that's the deck there. Really quick and easy game, but I really like this deck. It's there's a really good 1, 2, 3 kind of thing, but you can make decisions and it's really flexible from there. And it generates so much card advantage. Imagine if I had Paragus Live, like a little bit earlier, or like if I had like 2 Paragus Live or whatever, like you can just draw so much cards and you can self-awaken it. It's just super nice. It's a really cool effect, and I really like it. It's awesome. So that's the deck. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you, Eric, for playing, and I'll catch you all next time.